Okay, so we talked a little bit about the concept for the cover. Talk a little bit for the viewers and tell them about the concept and how you came up with the concept for the actual book.
Okay, so it's kind of a story. I'm gonna try to.
That's okay. We want to hear it.
So last year was a very tough time for me. I had a lot of obstacles and struggles. It was probably one of the worst years of my life, mentally and emotionally. At the beginning of the year, I was going through a breakup, and I was dealing with those emotions. And then I get the phone call that my dad has stage 4 lung cancer, and he was on the verge of passing that week. And I remember being hit with this heaviness of responsibility. I was the one that decided if he lived or if he stayed, if he went into a coma or anything like that, or dealing with all his medical records. I was his next of kin to handle all that. And nobody could prepare you for that.
No.
I'm 29 years old, this girl out here living my life and not even realizing, you can be hit with something so heavy like that and the responsibility that comes behind it.
That's a very big responsibility.
It was just a lot of emotions that came with that. And it kind of put me into depression. And I've always dealt with these moments in life where I went through depression. But for some reason, this one, I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't pick myself back up.
Wow.
And I started to miss work a lot and miss out on hours a lot and just started to down spiral in life. And I only could find a few people in my life, and one of the people that I could find in was one of my best friends. And she was there for me through the whole journey with my dad. Anytime I was short on rent, she was like, "Here, girl, I got you." She was always like, "Are you okay?" Checking on me. We also worked together, so at work she would check on me when I had my moments, my breakdown in the bathroom crying. She'll come in there and she was just such a great friend through this whole process. And 3 months after my dad got diagnosed, she got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Cervical cancer. And it was heavy. It was hard to deal with having two close people in my life struggle with cancer and fighting for their lives and dealing with all the stuff that I was dealing with. I ended up losing my place. I ended up losing my car. I ended up moving in with family members, and I was just really at a low place in my life. I was about to turn 30 years old, and it's I don't have anything to show for it. I don't even have the energy to get myself out of this funk that I'm in. I just felt really low as a woman and just as, a human. I just felt like I couldn't get it together. I couldn't keep myself up. And I kept searching for somebody to motivate me or somebody to help me, not realizing that, it was myself that had to get myself out of it.
Exactly. Yes.
So I remember one time I went to go visit my friend. Her name was Kim, the one who had the cancer. And it was about I want to say it was the beginning of September that I went to the hospital to see her. And I remember her telling me when she was in there, she was like, "I'm going to beat this." She was like, "I got to beat this. I got 4 kids. I'm going to fight through this." And I remember we were so emotional inside when she was telling me this because she was so, her mentality was so positive. Her light was so positive, but I could see, she wasn't going to make it. I knew she was just so weak and so skinny, and she lost so much weight, and I could just tell, it wasn't her favor to fight through it, to make it. And I went home and I was really emotional, and I remember looking in the mirror at myself and I was like, how dare you? How dare you be so selfish? How dare you not be able to pick yourself up from these little small things that you're dealing with compared to somebody who is fighting for their life? And she has a better outlook on life than me. It was I had to tell myself, pick yourself up. Get out of this phone, get your shit back together. And do what you're supposed to be doing in life. Get back on your purpose, get back on your journey. And I remember I was searching for things to put this energy towards. And I started to think about my creativitiness. I've always been creative since I was a little girl. That's all I know that makes me happy. Creating little films or stories or poems or songs or something. So I was trying to find something to do creatively. And I came up with the idea of making another mixtape. I was like, the last time I was this happy and I didn't care about anything, I was making music. I was like, let me get back into music. Let me try to pull from there. So I thought of this whole concept of making a mixtape, and I was trying to find different things to pull from, and like I said, I couldn't pull from anything. And so I was like, you have all these writings that you never did nothing with. Go back and revisit the writings, finish them, and try to come up with a concept for an album. And so I'm going through all these writings, And then I get sad. I'm like, dang, you were sad a lot. A lot of times in your life you were sad and you never dealt with these pains or dealt with these emotions. You just wrote it down, you know, or you put it away in the closet and you kept pushing. Because that was the type of person that I was. I was always trying to present myself as perfect. I got everything under control.
Strong black woman.
Yeah, I don't go through nothing. You know, that's them, not me. You know, my mama raised me right. Like that was just, I always tried to keep that persona up.
Right.
That I didn't never allow myself to face my demons, you know, and face the things that was bringing me down and making me feel these ways. I never ever faced them. So revisiting them, I was forced to face them, and it put me back into this kind of sad space. On top of being sad that year, the whole year going through everything I was going through, but it was such a healing moment when I revisit these moments, and I decided, you know, I was like, I should make this a book for myself.
So it started an album, and it ended up
a book, because it was just such beautiful writings, you know. And I was like, you know what, this needs to be in a book format. And at the time, I wasn't even thinking grand. I was just like, just make a book for yourself. You could pass down to your kids and grandkids. Like, this is something that you could just have in the family. Nothing big. I didn't want to put too much into it, because I was just getting back on my feet. I was just getting back comfortable with my creativity, comfortable with just, you know, being again.
And it was your therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
And personal.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I put it together, my first draft, and I kind of read the first 30 pages to like my sister and my mom, and then me and my mom had like these deep conversations, and my auntie, we had these deep conversations, and I remember them breaking down to me and was like telling me that they had similar stories of as far as trying to present themselves as perfect.
Right.
And they had their own struggles and demons that they deal with by themselves. So then I came up with the concept, okay, well, instead of just making this book for me, I'm going to make it for all the women in my family. Because I felt like we were all part of a generational curse of brokenness.
Oh, my goodness. That is so real. That just gave me a chill through my body.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. That's what I was being shown. And so I just took it as a sign, like, okay, let's just make a book. You know, I was like, the holidays was coming up, and it would be something to lift my spirit up, and also I could pass out to the women in my family, and we can go on this healing journey together.
Yes.
And growing journey together. So that was the whole behind the, you know, the scenes of the concept of writing this book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just reminds me of something that I always say to myself, and something that I heard you say that was very similar. And I say to myself, what right have I got not to be great?
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I am on this earth. I am still here. So many people in my life have passed away. So many people are sick and dealing with things so much worse than mine. However, I don't want you to think that belittles your experience either, because what you go through is real to you, you know. But what right have I got not to be great?
Exactly.
What right have I got to lay here and curl up? Myself, I have dealt with depression, and I'm sure there are viewers out there that are identifying with what you're saying right now, because I know I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So I definitely commend you for that, for dealing with your healing and your pain, and I know that we're going to all be blessed from
That's
that.
the mission.
So I appreciate that, and I'm sure once you guys read it, you're going to appreciate it too.
Exactly.
All right. All right, so just like, you know, you are probably going to inspire some other writers out there and some people that are looking forward to jumping into this journey into entrepreneurship of writing.
Right.
What are some books or authors or great books that you've read recently, or some people that you actually admire?
Okay. Honestly, I don't read books.
Really?
That's the truth. I don't read books. I haven't read a full book since I read The Coldest Winter Ever when I was in high school.
Oh, Sister Soldier, right?
When I was in high school. So for me, when I was writing this book, like I said, I wanted to be real, I wanted to be raw, and I wanted to bring the readers into my world. So I did do a little research on the author of the book Precious. I can't remember who the author was at this moment, but
We'll put it up on parisplacepromotions.org.
The author of that book, I remember seeing some YouTube videos, and they were talking about how they didn't want to change the way Precious talked, because there's a lot of ebonics in that book.
Right.
And they didn't want to change that because it was important for them to bring people into Precious' world.
Wow.
And they didn't want people to be like, well, that's not how you write that. That's not how you supposed to say this, and be caught up in that. He was more interested in bringing them into Precious' world.
Mm-hmm.
A girl from the ghetto, from the hood, that spoke ebonics, that, you know, deal with all these emotions, things. And that was something that I took and put in my book.
Right.
So when I wrote my book, a lot of my poems, you know, they have some similarities to like the Precious world,
mm-hmm.
as far as, you know, being in that depression and being in sadness and viewing the world a certain way. And so it was important for me to make sure that my book had these moments in there that brought people into my world.
Right.
I don't want people to get caught up in, oh, she didn't spell that right, or there's a period not supposed to be there, and this is supposed to be there, because that's the way the book is supposed to be written, to take you on that journey.
Right.
You know, I want people to come with pure imagination.
Yes.
And be an open vessel to where I'm taking you to.
Yes.
So that's one author that I did relate to the most.
Very
and wanted
good.
to follow when I wrote my book.
Very good. And I think that was Lee Daniels.
Okay.
Was it Lee Daniels?
I think he shot the movie Precious. I don't know if
he was the writer of it.
the
We'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
We'll find out. I'll post it on parisplacepromotions.org. Make sure you go and take a look at that.
Right.
All right.
People didn't hear that.
Yeah, you know, that's interesting that you said that, because even people who create businesses, or people who are writing movies, or I've read that they don't look at what other people are doing.
Exactly.
Because they don't want that to deter from what they're doing. They're trying to do purely what they want to do.
Exactly.
So that's, I totally get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So most definitely, but hey, that's Sister Soldier, coldest winter ever.
That's
If you
the
haven't
book.
read that book, plug.
Okay.
Every girl should read that book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, so other than writing, because we heard that you're working on your second book, and it's
Yes.
Rebirth, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking forward to that as well. But I know you're a jack of all trades. You do so much.
Right.
You know, and you motivate me.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that.
Oh, thank you.
But what other upcoming projects are you working on?
After the book releases on December 8th, I am going to be working on my event called The Lost Experience. And it's going to be where I show my visuals for Lost. Because I also like to shoot film. I went to film school, and I direct and I write scripts as well. After that, I want to put out some short films throughout the year, just to show my directing side and the scripts that I came up with. And then I also am working on the Lost Foundation, which is a community outreach program.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I want to go into inner cities and help out low-income families and the troubled youth
Wow.
in the inner cities. So I'm working on those projects as well right now.
I'm just so inspired by what you're saying. I really am, because out of your pain has come you've birthed
I know.
this whole concept, this whole new thing that is going to, I just believe is going to inspire so many people.
I hope so.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And if it doesn't inspire anyone, but like you said originally, how you were going to put it out, but I think it's going to be bigger, because that's how it happens. Usually we start something and we just say, I'm just going to do it for myself, and then it ends up blowing up to something much bigger. This whole thing I'm doing, I just was having fun.
Exactly.
You know, I'm just trying to pass time. And next thing you know, I end up with a whole big business, right?
That's how you know you're on your purpose.
Exactly.
When everything comes together.
Yes.
Like when I was trying to do the music, it was always obstacles. Like I would get to the point where I made a whole mixtape and I did promotion, I put dates out there, and then they'd be like, oh, we didn't mix it right, or oh, the master didn't go right, or the producer just pulled away. Like I had this one project that I did I was so proud of, and I was like, I'm gonna, blow up from this mixtape.
Wow.
And in the middle of mastering it, the producer that I was working with got signed to do Beyonce and Nicki Minaj songs. And he was looking at me like, girl, I ain't finishing your stuff.
Okay.
So it was always obstacles. But when I put this book together, it just came.
Yeah.
It just came together. And then after the book, it was like, oh, make the visuals. And that's coming together now.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like, oh, do the foundation. You know, so it was like everything's coming together. That's how I know, like, I'm on the right path right now. And I'm going to just keep on going as the universe just keeps bringing it to me. Like, okay, what's next? What's the next journey?
Yes, and that's why we call this show Open the Door. Because if you open the door, your God, your universe will find you.
Exactly.
And deliver exactly what you need. It'll be waiting right there for you. And I've learned that it'll come to you. It will definitely come to you.
Yes.
All right, so this has been, it's been inspiring for me. I'm already inspired.
Yes.
And even if I don't read the book, just talking to you has even motivated me even more to continue on my journey. So for those of us out there and our viewers out there who are thinking about writing or music or film or just whatever their business idea that they may have, what words of wisdom can you impart to them?
I would say just don't stop. You know, like just keep going. Block out whatever distractions you have to block out, and just remember your craft at the end of the day. Don't get caught up in the hype and the glitz and the glam of what comes after, you know. Just focus on molding yourself and your craft.
Yeah.
Like when I wrote this book, I didn't tell nobody. Like when I posted it up on Facebook and something, like my mom, my bros, even like, you wrote a book? You wrote a book? Like you never said you were. And I didn't want to tell nobody. I didn't want to put that pressure on me. I didn't want everybody to even know my next move. You know how they say, don't tell people your next move.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. I just was quiet and I focused for like months, and I just wrote this book, the first draft out, and then I just kept going from there. So my words of wisdom to you guys out there is to just don't stop, block out any distractions, and just keep going. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how disappointed you get, always try again and just continue until you reach your goal.
Most definitely. Don't give up. Don't give up. All right, so where can our viewers purchase Lost, and how can they contact you and follow you for future projects?
Okay, so you guys can go to my website, which is blackgirlmagicproduction.com. My book is on there. You can purchase it that way. After December 8th, it'll be available on Amazon, Lulu.com, and it'll be able to download ebooks through ebooks.
Yes.
Also, on my Instagram is Queen Cola Love. You guys can reach out for me there, or on my website.
All right. And just remember, you can also, she is a member of Perry's Place Promotions Network. So you can reach her. She has a member profile on our site, so you can reach her there as well. Just look her up under Dyeshia Hall, or you can just type in Lost. And she will come up. You can also send Dyeshia messages through that profile. So we would love to hear from you after you guys purchase the book.
Yes.
Please go in and
post,
send a message.
share.
Yes.
Post it, #Lost, Dyeshia Hall.
Buy it for Christmas presents. Christmas is coming. Great Christmas presents. Birthday presents. I think that would be great.
Yeah, and also just subscribe to my website, because I have a lot of goodies that I have coming up. We're gonna have merchandise. We're gonna have little cute gift boxes that comes with the book and different little gift items in there. So just make sure you guys subscribe to my website to get more information about those things.
All right, future entrepreneurs. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want you now. I want you now.